Before this video starts, I just like to say that this video was for a school project, and I'm literally just doing whatever I can to try and keep myself sane, because they said we can make slideshows or presentations, or we can do whatever we want, and I chose to make a YouTube video, because, you know, I work better editing and making videos, and sure, I would love to do presentations, but I work better when it comes to cameras. So our teacher gave us a list of Native American tribes to do because our project is, our final performance task is trying to see which Native American tribes adapted, or we're trying to pick our job is to pick a Native American tribe and see how they adapted to their environment. So, hold on. Okay, dog's doing Comanche, so I'm gonna do Comanche. So first of all, let's talk about how they lived in, how do I say it? Their turf, I guess? I don't know how the hip kids talk about it these days. But, I'm pretty sure, they obviously had to build some type of shelter, like teepees, houses, caves. I don't know about caves, but maybe caves, I'm pretty sure. But, like, yeah, like I said, teepees, houses, caves. So, let me try and find something. People knew the Comanches as fierce warriors, and they lived in the southern plains. Now, the southern plains extended from the state of Nebraska right into the north part of Texas. The Comanches are actually one of the most, if not the most, historically important Indian cultures from Texas. They were much more than just warriors. Spanish records and other sources say that they were also really good traders. The Spanish held trading fairs in the city of Teos and Santa Fe, which is also known as New Mexico. Records from the trade fairs in Old Teos and Santa Fe describe the Comanches at the trade fairs. They were really well dressed. The Comanche leaders often wore fine European clothes with many silver conchos and fine leather boots. And they had money! You need that money to buy stuff. Buy stuff? What would they need to buy? Okay, yeah, I see it now. They would come, and usually they would come to these trades in organized groups. Big groups. Yeah. One Comanche in these groups who could speak Spanish, French, or 4 or 5 Indian languages. The groups always had a teacher who was really skilled as a trader and diplomat. The problem was, most of what they had to sell or trade was stuff that they stole. They sold the stolen horses and women and children they kidnapped. Really? Pedophilia was a thing back then? Yeah, I could kind of see that happening. Hey kid, I'll give you 15 leather bison boots if you get in my horse van. Yeah, alright. Though the relatives of the women and children would come to these fairs to try and buy them back. The kidnapping for ransom would later get the Comanche in big trouble with the American settlers who were very tolerant of it than the Spanish or Pueblo Indians were. Alright guys, enough about the background history. Let's actually talk about how they really adapted to their environments. So some of the ways of how the Comanche adapted to their environments was by making shelters, and one type of home that they made is called a teepee. Now, a teepee isn't really something that's too complicated. It's a small hut, basically made out of straw or hay, and it was actually really, really popularly used. A lot of native tribes used teepees. They were actually portably used, so if the owner of the teepee, if they ever needed to change locations for hunting, for example, they could pack up their teepee and actually take it with them. But here's another thing. They also... So first I'd like to talk about the type of food that the Comanches actually hunted. When the Comanches first started hunting, they ate this food, they hunted this species called buffalo, which was kind of what they mainly relied on for their tribes and to help them survive. They usually were able to hunt buffalo by making them run off cliffs or killing them with a bow and arrow, practicing their sniping skills. With the help of horses, Comanches were able to hunt buffalo a lot easier. They could also migrate to other locations as buffaloes migrated. So, like I said, with the help of teepees, they could take their teepees and move them to where the buffalo moved. Speaking of hunting buffalo, Comanches actually used the skin of buffalo as protection for and clothing. They also, and like I said, they used bows and arrows to hunt. And they also used long spears as well. Now, here are actually some negative causes of the hunting buffalo. So, because there were so many Comanche groups, sometimes there would be a shortage of buffalo, and they couldn't find any. So, they would always have to keep on moving continuously to other locations. Some more negative actions that occur is that because the Comanche had so many groups, they had a leader, a chief, as they said, and during gatherings, the chief would make decisions for each groups. But however, most groups, not most groups, but some people's decisions did not really meet, or some people did not exactly agree with the chief's decisions. Now, in 1870, the slaughter of buffalo and the loss of horses and the huge number of white settlers had to basically it was really bad news, and the Comanche was forced to move out of their home. And that's it for my Unit 1 performance task. Let's see. Yep, so Coach O'Neill, this is my video for my Unit 1 performance task. I did state my sources and negative actions. Let me look at the rubric real quick. Okay, let's see, students identify, okay, describes or environmental adaptations, I think I did that, yeah, and negative consequences, yes. Creativity, use of picture, okay, I definitely had a huge use of picture. Organization, posters, thoroughly organized in a way that's easy. Well, I didn't do a poster, I did a video. Yep, that's all I got. So, I don't know if I'll publicly upload this. I think I'll just privately upload this and post the link in Google Classroom. And that's it. Bye.